Virtual machines, also called VM, is a software emulation of a physical computer that allows multiple operation systems to run concurrently on a single physical machine. Essentially, it's a computer within a computer that utilizes the host machine's hardware resources, that is the CPU, the random access memory, storage, without needing separate physical hardware for each environment. So what is it? So software-based emulation. Virtual machine is created using software, not physical hardware component. We have independent operating system. Each virtual machine can run its own operating systems like Windows, Linux, and applications just like a physical computer. So we have resource sharing. Virtual machines share the resources of host machines such as the CPU, the memory, and storage. Then virtual machines are isolated from each other and the host machine, meaning issues in one virtual machine like crashes or security breaches won't affect the others. So how does a virtual machine work? This thing called hypervisor, a special software layer called a hypervisor is used to create and manage virtual machines. Okay, the hypervisor allocates the host machine's resources to each VM, ensuring they have the necessary resources to operate. We have virtual hardware. The hypervisor provides virtual hardware components to each virtual machine, such as virtual CPU, RAM, and storage. So the benefits of using a virtual machine is resource optimization, which allows the better utilization of hardware resource by consolidating multiple operating systems and applications on a single physical machine. Then we have cost saving. Reducing the number of physical servers needed can lead to significant cost saving in hardware, energy, and maintenance. There's flexibility and agility, which can be easily created, modified, and moved, providing greater flexibility and agility in managing IT infrastructure. So there's testing and development. Virtual machines provide a safe and isolating environment for testing new software, applications, and operating systems without affecting the production environment. Then also disaster recovery. The virtual machine can easily back up and restore, making them useful for disaster recovery and business continuity. Examples like cloud computing. Virtual machines are the fundamental building blocks of cloud computing platforms, enabling businesses to access computing resources on demand. Then the server consolidation. Companies can consolidate multiple servers into a single physical server using virtual machines, reducing cost and complexity. Then there's software development and testing. Developers use virtual machines to test their software on different operating systems and configuration. Legacy application support. Virtual machine can be used to run old applications that are not compatible with newer operating systems. More about that, just give me time. So, virtual machines, commonly shortened as VM, is not different than other physical computer like a laptop or smartphone or a server. It has a CPU, it has a memory, disk to store your files and can connect to the internet if needed, while the parts that make up your computer are physical and tangible. So virtual machines are often thought of as virtual computers or software-defined computers within a physical server existing only as a code. So virtualization is a process of creating a software-based, which is virtual version computer with dedicated amount of CPU, memory, and storage that are borrowed from a physical host computer such as your personal computer and a remote server, such as server in a cloud provider's data center. A virtual machine is a computer file, typically called an image, that behaves like an actual computer. It can run in a Windows as separate computing environment, open to run a different operating system, or even to function as the user's entire computer experience. As is common on many people's work computer, the virtual machine is partitioned from the rest of the computer, meaning that the software inside a virtual machine can't interfere with the host computer's primary operating system. What are virtual machines used for? They are used for building and deploying apps to the cloud, trying out a new operating system including beta releases, spinning up a new environment to make it simpler and quicker for developers to run dev test scenarios, backing up your existing operating system, then have accessing virus infected data or running an old application by installing an older operating system. Then we have running software or apps on operating systems that they weren't originally intended for. So, what are the benefits of using a virtual machine? Virtual machines run like individual computers with individual operating system and application. They have the advantage of remaining completely independent of one another. And the physical host machine, a piece of software called hypervisor or virtual machine manager, lets you run different operating systems on different virtual machines at the same time. This makes it possible to run Linux virtual machine, for example, on a Windows operating system, or to run an earlier version of Windows on the more current virtual version of Windows operating system. And because virtual machines are independent of each other, they are also extremely portable. You can move a virtual machine on a hypervisor to another hypervision on completely different machine almost instantaneously. Because of their flexibility and portability, virtual machines provide many benefits like cost saving. So on cost saving, running multiple virtual machines from one piece of infrastructure means that you can drastically reduce your physical infrastructure footprint. This boosts your bottom line, decreasing the need to maintain nearly as many servers and saving on maintenance costs and electricity. You have agility and speed. Spinning up a virtual machine is relatively easy and quick, and is much simpler than provisioning on an entire new environment for your developer. Virtualization makes the process of running dev test scenario a lot quicker. There is lower downtime. Virtual machines are so portable and easy to move from one hypervisor to another on a different machine. This means that they are a great solution for backup in events the host goes down unexpectedly. So talking about scalability, virtual machine allows you to more easily scale your apps by adding more physical or virtual servers to distribute the workload across multiple virtual machines. As a result, you can increase the availability and performance of your apps. Then have security benefits. Because virtual machines run in a multiple operating system, using a guest operating system on a virtual machine allows you to run apps of questionable security and protect your host operating system. Virtual machines also allows for better security forensics and are often used to safely study computer viruses, isolating the viruses to avoid risking their host computer. Okay, so just a few talking about some Few questions here. Let's talk about what is a virtualization machine. Is it the same as a virtual machine? The process of creating a software-based or virtual version of something, whether to be compute, stored, storage, network, servers, or apps, is called virtualization. Virtualization as a technology enjoys a lengthy history, and today it's still very relevant to building a cloud computing strategy. So virtualization is the process, and a machine made using the process are most called virtual machines, just as VM. So what is a hypervisor? A multiple virtual machine can run simultaneously on the same physical computer, all managed by a hypervisor. Hypervisor is a software that integrates the physical hardware and the virtual machine virtual hardware. This is very similar to how an operating system in a typical computer works, much like a school crossing guard helps multiple students move safely back and forth across these intersections. The hypervisor makes sure each virtual machine gets the resources it needs from the physical server in order and timely manner. So let's talk about what is infrastructure as a service. This is the foundation category of cloud computing services. With infrastructure as a service, you rent IT infrastructure, which is servers and virtual machines that include storage, network, and operating systems on a pay-as-you-go basis from cloud providers such as Microsoft Azure. Then we have here, are Azure's virtual machine different than other virtual machines? Okay, let's talk about that. Yes and no. Azure Virtual Machine is Azure Infrastructure as a Service used to deploy persistent virtual machine with nearly any virtual machine server workload that you want. They are image service instances that provide on-demand and scalable computing resources with usable-based pricing. So Azure Virtual Machine is the service that provides virtual machine optimized for general purpose or storage, memory, compute, and graphic intensive workloads, and are offered in a variety of cheaper types and sizes to meet your needs and keep your budget in check. Then we have what is a Spot VM. Spot VM are part of services offered by the cloud providers such as Microsoft Azure that provide scalable compute capacity at deep discounts. So Spot VMs are ideal for workload that can interrupt, such as select high performance computing scenarios, batch processing jobs, and visual rendering applications. Development of test environments including continuous integration and continuous delivery workloads, big data analytics, container-based, large-scale stateless applications. What is Azure Disk Storage? Azure Disk Storage is a service offering high-performing, high-durable block storage designed to be used in Azure virtual machines with unmatched resiliency, seamless scalability, and built-in security. Azure Disk Storage delivers the price performing you need for your mission and business-critical apps. Therefore, how does hybrid cloud computing work with Azure? Good. In general, hybrid cloud computing refers to a cloud environment that combines public cloud and on-premise infrastructure, including private cloud, by allowing data and apps to be shared between them. So, it expands your cloud deployment options, offering greater flexibility to scale resources and take advantage of cloud tech innovation while giving interoperability with on-premises environment. So what is the cloud computing stack? Cloud service providers, sometimes called cloud computing service as a stack because they build on top of one another, while infrastructure as a service represents a foundational element in the stack Other services are often used together with information infrastructure as a service, such as a platform as a service and software as a service and serverless computing. I hope you've understood what a virtual machine is, what is it used for, some different terms that I've already spoken here. In case you have any questions, just DM on my, just go and write it in the comment, or if you need anything on my end, I'm here to help. So, types of virtual machine, there are two types of virtual machine. There's process virtual machine, then we have system virtual machine. So how do I set up a virtual machine? So let's see how to set up a virtual machine. We are going to look at step by step. The process of creating a virtual machine varies depending on the virtualization platform. Many platforms provide wizard and other capabilities to simplify the process of establishing and deploying a virtual machine. E.g., to install a Linux machine, the user has the following below steps. Step 1. Make a blank virtual machine. Then create a virtual disk for storage. Then you add a network interface to link the virtual machine to the network. Then you install a guest operating system, that is OS. Register the virtual machine with the content delivery network and attach any necessary subscription. Then you have to install any necessary guest agents or drivers. Advantages of a virtual machine: there are no protection problems because each virtual machine is completely isolated from all other virtual machines. Virtual machines can provide an instruction set architecture that differs from real computer. Easy maintenance, availability and convenience recovery. Then there's energy and cost savings. Then easy backup and plan. Virtual machine provide flexibility and customization. Then talk about disadvantages of virtual machine. When multiple virtual machines are simultaneously running on a host computer, one virtual machine can be affected by other running virtual machine depending on the workload. Virtual machines are not as efficient as a real one when accessing the hardware. So, we've already talked about what hypervisor is. I'm not going to repeat it. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. I think all you need to know about virtual machines is here, but in case you need any more clarification, you can go online and check more about virtual machines, and also maybe YouTube. You'll be able to get more information on virtual machines. Thank you so much for today. See you next time.